completely.
Nothing, you're not seeing anything.
I don't say ND is useless. They are filled flat. Useless. Bure kabisa.
Welcome to your favorite segment, The Big Point, on your favorite political YouTube channel, YOLENO TV. And I'm glad to have you back once again. The big point in this analysis is why BENJI NDOLO, the former political strategist and advisor to William RUTO, opted to say this.
Can I go to State House with a gun? How do you go and force RUTO to listen? So, for instance, on the economic agenda, I feel that they're filled flat.
But before we get started, allow me to officially welcome you to this analysis. And I'm kindly encouraging anyone who has not subscribed to this channel to please take 1 second, head over to the subscribe button and subscribe, like, share our videos. To existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. So let's get into this. Things are still falling apart in KK with most of the UDA loyalists ditching UDA. We're talking about bloggers like Maverick Kaoko, BENJI NDOLO, Bianca Naomi, Gordon Opio, Captain Dominic Omondi. Those are said to be some of the bloggers who are either leaving or are on the verge of leaving William RUTO's camp.
Most of the guys I talk to, we gravitate to one another because we supported UDA. They're like, we didn't support for this. What is this? So, I believe that what the president needs to do is to take a different path. Completely different path. First of all, as a leader, never be vindictive. Everything that happened has already passed. And now you're the president. You don't need to think of the guys who name called you or did what or blocked. You don't need to think of those people. You are the president, Raila is not.
So the political analysis in the video I've shared is Mr. BENJI NDOLO. And Mr. BENJI is a commentator, a strategist and founder and director of ON, that's based in Nairobi, talking about One Kenya Group. And sometimes back, he and Professor Harmon Manyora hurled insults at each other over the first daughter, Charlene RUTO's philanthropic efforts. If you remember last year, soon after William RUTO took over the reins of power, Charlene RUTO used to tour so many counties. And there's a time he toured KC County. And that's when now people started talking about his frequent visits and the motive behind those visits. So that's what brought about the insults between Prof. Harmon Manyora and Mr. BENJI NDOLO, because Mr. BENJI NDOLO was advocating for those philanthropic efforts by Charlene RUTO. But Professor Harmon Manyora had a different take to that. So recently, Mr. BENJI was being interviewed in one of Prof. Harmon Manyora's political channel segments. He had so much to say against RUTO's economic policies.
Economic policy. You cannot continue on this path. You cannot tax him. Where is he going to get it from? You cannot milk a cow that has not eaten. You cannot milk a cow when it has given you 14 liters and you own 20, you whip it. You cannot whip a cow to give you 20 liters when it can only give you 14. You cannot continue implementing policy when the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, when the Federation of Employers is telling you that you have reached, according to the law of diminishing returns, the peak.
And going by the history, BENJI NDOLO, just like Mr. Seth Panyako, who had faith in William RUTO on matters manifesto deliveries, has come out publicly to castigate RUTO's economic policies after it emerged that KK regime was shifting away from the charters it signed with the various groups, social groups, various counties across Kenya. Let me take you back a bit to September 18, 2023. There was word that Mr. BENJI NDOLO, the political strategist, revealed that he had been kicked out of William RUTO's Media Voices, the WhatsApp group, for telling the truth. Back then, he had reined in on this issue of petrol, rather fuel. Seth Panyako also, sometimes there in March, showed open defiance to RUTO Support of Finance Act. You remember that time? And he said that he could not subscribe to an act that was going to burden Kenyans. And that's the time the reality dawned on Kenyans that they were going to shoulder the burden of housing levy, or maybe in other terms, housing tax. I hope that memory is still fresh in your minds. The time Seth Panyako came out publicly, he said he could not work with William Ruto because of that stand. And many people say that maybe Panyako was reacting because he had not been given any position in government. So maybe that's why he was reacting. So that's the time these allegations came out. Also, this issue of BENJI NDOLO, people are saying that it's because he was not nominated as a CAS. But you see, there's a time BENJI NDOLO talked about the incompetency that was being brought about by the people who were appointed as a chief administrative secretaries. Back then, he argued that William Ruto was picking people, not considering the professionalism that was needed in those dockets. So he was not also part of those people who were picked. But then people say that that could be the reason why he was opposing William Ruto. But you see, what he has come out to say publicly in the debate that I just shared is that he talked about why the economic policies that the Kenya Kwanza regime were introducing were not working. He echoed the fact that Raila Amolo Odinga's words of Punda Amechoka were correct. He said that you cannot milk a cow. The cow is supposed to produce maybe 12 liters of milk. You have gone to 13 liters of milk. So you are caning this cow to produce 15 liters of milk. How will the cow produce this? So he was arguing that the first thing that should be done is to give this cow food, akule vizuri ashibe, and then the cow will have ability to produce more milk. So he was saying that the government is not doing exactly that which is supposed to be done. The cow, being Kenyans, is being milked. So Kenyans have been milked to a level whereby now they cannot produce milk anymore. So they are told to continue producing more milk, but they are not given food. They are not being motivated to produce more milk. Where is this motivation? One, by reducing the cost of living so that people can produce more. When you produce more, you will now be able to produce more taxes. I want to take you to a certain story that has been doing rounds by one expert in economics who said that that KRA had given a report that despite the fact that there have been more taxes which have been introduced, but they have not been able to collect more taxes. So the period which they had collected and the period which Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had collected previously, the same period, Uhuru Kenyatta's collection iko juu kidogo kushinda the collection of William Ruto now. So this is symbolizing that maybe you have introduced more taxes, yes, but the people are not motivated. The people have not been given food so that they can produce more. And BENJI NDOLO's assertions in that debate are true because the people needs to be motivated. The taxations, however much the government tries to introduce more taxes on the people need to be motivated. So BENJI NDOLO thinks that what William Ruto ought to have done was to probably reduce this burden on Kenyans first, so that Kenyans can feel ile haja sasa kutaka kufanya kazi na kuproduce more. Part of the reason why I think the tax that was collected could be more is because investors have run away. Two, Kenyan citizens now cannot invest in even the small businesses they used to invest in, because now if the regulations about zimeletwa na serikali are beyond a normal citizen, then how is a normal citizen going to finance his business? It's not going to be easy. So those are some of the reasons why we feel that Kenyan citizens found themselves in a position where they cannot invest, and as a result, if they can't invest, that means the government cannot collect more taxes. What will the government do? The government will simply be forced to now introduce more VAT, so that they can forcefully collect money from items purchased in shops, in supermarkets, and the like. That is what the government is going to do. So Benji NDOLO, you know the history of Benji NDOLO. He has previously supported William Ruto's presidency, and at one particular time, it's alleged that Benji NDOLO made fun of Raila after Ruto clinched the presidency. You know, this is what happened when Ruto was pronounced as the winner. You see, Benji NDOLO had to do that because he was part and parcel of those people who used to campaign for William Ruto, despite the fact that there's a time there he tried to distance himself from people who campaigned for William Ruto. But the truth of the matter, and going by the history and the internet does not lie, that he also supported William Ruto, just like Seth Panyako did. But now there is open defiance in the policies of KK. Benji NDOLO says that he doesn't subscribe to those policies. I don't know what you make of that move, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe if you have a different perception to what Benji NDOLO said, maybe you can go below the comment section there and tell us what you think about your stand, or Benji NDOLO's stand, or Kenya Kwanza's stand on matters of taxations. But we know that, going by the history, Benji NDOLO was a staunch supporter of William Ruto, a blogger, political strategist, one who played a key role in ensuring that the campaign of William Ruto was effective. So, but as to why he is choosing now to decamp from that position of supporting William Ruto, that is one thing that is shocking Kenyans, but that is something that is expected because, like I said, 5 bloggers who used to champion Kenya Kwanza's ideologies seems to be distancing themselves from Kenya Kwanza's economic policies. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to rest my case there, but I'm kindly requesting anybody who has forgotten to subscribe, please just take one moment and go below the comment section. There is a button written, but before the comment section, there's a button there written subscribe. Just hit it once and you can give a like to this video. Hit the notification bell also. And to those who supported this channel, I want to say here that I'm forever grateful for that support, because without you, this channel cannot grow. So until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.